Hey there! Welcome back to Color and Craft Haven, a little corner of calm where we can slow down, breathe, and add a little color to the day. Today we're talking about something that I absolutely love because it proves one very important point. You do not need to own an entire craft store to make something beautiful. Somewhere along the way, many of us picked up the strange idea that creativity requires mountains of supplies and fancy gadgets with names that sound like tiny kitchen appliances, and enough specialty tools to make our craft room look like a hardware store that wandered into an art museum. The good news is that paper crafting has been quietly rolling its eyes at that idea for years. Some of the most beautiful projects begin with little more than paper, something that makes a mark, something that sticks things together, and a willingness to experiment. There's something wonderfully freeing about working with very few tools. Instead of spending half an hour wondering which of your 17 cutting devices is technically best for trimming a 2 centimeter strip of cardstock, you simply cut the paper. Revolutionary, I know. Sometimes we accidentally turn hobbies into equipment collections instead of creative activities. We convince ourselves that happiness is hiding inside one more purchase, and surely this next gadget will finally unlock our artistic genius. Then it arrives, we use it twice, and it joins the witness protection program in the back of a drawer, never to be seen again until we're looking for batteries 3 years later. One of the things I appreciate most about paper crafts is that they reward imagination far more than expensive equipment. A folded sheet of paper can become a greeting card, a bookmark, a decorative flower, a journal embellishment, a tiny gift box, or something else that defies explanation, but still somehow ends up looking charming. Paper is surprisingly forgiving. If you make a mistake, you haven't ruined a block of marble or accidentally welded something to the dining room table. You simply grab another sheet and try again. That's one reason paper crafting feels so approachable. The stakes are refreshingly low, which gives your creativity permission to take a few risks without breaking into a cold sweat. Let's talk about the mighty pair of scissors for a moment. Scissors rarely get the appreciation they deserve. Paint gets all the glamorous magazine covers. Fancy cutting machines get dramatic unboxing videos. Meanwhile, scissors are quietly sitting in the corner thinking, I've been doing all the work since kindergarten. A good pair of scissors can trim, shape, fringe, round corners with a little patience, create decorative edges if you're feeling adventurous, and rescue countless projects from disaster. They don't require electricity or software updates or a Wi-Fi or any subscription service. They simply wake up every morning ready to cut things. And honestly, there's something admirable about that level of commitment. Glue deserves its own standing ovation as well. Glue is the peacemaker of the crafting world. It spends its entire existence helping things get along. Two pieces of paper meet, they disagree about their future, and glue steps in like a wise counselor saying, now, you're staying together. Of course, glue also has a mischievous streak. Somehow it always finds its way onto your fingers. Then your fingers discover every tiny scrap of paper in the room. Before long, you're wearing confetti like you've just survived the world's smallest parade. It's impossible to be too dignified while peeling cardstock off your elbow, and honestly, that's kind of part of the fun. Another overlooked superpower of minimal tools is that they reduce decision fatigue. Creativity can actually slow down when every project begins with dozens of choices before you've ever made the first cut. Which marker? Which trimmer? Which specialty ruler? Which embossing folder? Which decorative punch? Which adhesive? Suddenly, you're spending 20 minutes making decisions instead of creating. Limiting your tools simplifies the entire experience. When your options are fewer, your attention naturally shifts toward color, composition, texture, and storytelling. You're thinking less about equipment and more about ideas, which is where the real magic tends to happen anyway. This simplicity also makes crafting feel wonderfully portable. Imagine being able to toss a small folder of paper, a pencil, scissors, and some glue in a bag and head outside, visit a friend, spend time at a library, or simply move to a different room because the afternoon sunlight is particularly inviting. You're not dragging around enough equipment to assemble a small satellite. You're carrying a hobby that politely travels with you. There's something cozy about knowing creativity isn't trapped inside one designated craft space. It can happily join you wherever you happen to be, whether that's the kitchen table or the comfiest chair in the house. One thing I find fascinating is how limitations often make us more creative rather than less. If someone handed you every crafting supply imaginable, your brain might immediately panic. Excellent, I now have 12,000 possibilities and absolutely no idea where to start. But if someone handed you 5 sheets of paper, scissors, and glue, your mind would immediately begin solving the puzzle. What can I fold? What can I layer? What shapes can I combine? Constraints encourage creative problem solving. Our brains seem to enjoy a challenge just enough to stay interested, without becoming completely overwhelmed by endless possibilities. Paper itself is far more interesting than some people realize. Smooth paper behaves differently than textured paper. Thick paper folds differently than thin paper. Matte finishes create one mood, while glossy surfaces create another. Even something as simple as layering 2 different colors can create surprising depth. You don't always need specialty embellishments when shadows, overlap, negative space, and careful composition can do so much of the visual work. It's a little like cooking with fresh ingredients instead of covering everything in 10 different sauces. Sometimes simplicity allows the individual pieces to shine much more clearly. Let's also give ourselves permission to laugh at our mistakes, because paper crafts provide some absolutely spectacular ones. We've all confidently glued something upside down while thinking this is going great. We've measured carefully, cut carefully, admired our precision, and then realized we measured the wrong edge entirely. We folded something beautiful, only to discover the decorative side is now hidden forever inside the project. These moments are practically a crafting tradition. They're annoying for about 30 seconds and hilarious forever afterward. Every experienced crafter has a collection of stories that begin with, "Well, I was absolutely certain I knew what I was doing." Minimal tools can also be surprisingly kind to our budgets. Creative hobbies should bring joy, not financial panic every time a new trend appears online. There will always be another must-have gadget, another limited edition release, another tool promising to transform your life forever. Meanwhile, your perfectly ordinary scissors are quietly whispering, "I'm still here if you need me." Learning to create with basic supplies helps you spend more intentionally. When you eventually choose to add a new tool, it's because it genuinely expands what you want to make, rather than because clever marketing convinced you that your current projects are somehow incomplete. Perhaps my favorite thing about simple paper crafting is how peaceful it feels. The rhythm of folding, trimming, arranging, adjusting, and gluing has a calming quality that's difficult to describe until you've experienced it for yourself. You're focused enough that everyday worries begin fading into the background, but relaxed enough that your mind still has room to wander. Before you know it, an hour has disappeared, you've made something with your own hands, and your stress level has quietly packed its bags and wandered off somewhere else. That's a remarkable return on investment for a handful of paper and a pair of scissors. There's also something wonderfully welcoming about hobbies that don't intimidate beginners. Everyone starts somewhere, and paper crafts have an incredible way of meeting people exactly where they are. You don't need years of training before you can begin making something satisfying. You simply begin. Your first project might be simple. Your 10th project will probably be better. And by your 100th, you'll look back at your earliest attempts with equal parts pride and amusement. Growth sneaks up on you when you're enjoying yourself. That's one of the best kinds of learning because it doesn't feel like homework. It feels like play. So the next time you find yourself wondering whether you need one more gadget before starting your next project, maybe pause for a moment. Look at the supplies already sitting on your desk. Pick up that stack of paper that's been patiently waiting for your attention. Grab your reliable scissors, your trustworthy glue, and whatever drawing tool happens to be nearby, then simply begin. Creativity has never cared very much about price tags or overflowing storage bins. It has always been far more interested in curiosity, persistence, and the willingness to make something that didn't exist 5 minutes earlier. That's where the beauty of paper craft truly lives. That's it for today's colorful time. I'd love to hear about the simplest craft you've ever created that turned out far better than you expected. Or tell me about that one humble tool you simply couldn't live without, because I always enjoy hearing everyone else's surprisingly passionate opinions about scissors, glue, and other everyday crafting heroes. Take care, stay creative, and I'll see you in the next one.